What's up guys, my name is Brendan and today I want to go over injury. I want to tell you guys my ACL story and I want to give you the Saiyan mentality. The mentality to come back stronger. Before we get started though, I want to say a quick disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I'm just going to share with you guys everything I know from getting countless injuries myself. I have a pin in my wrist. I have a fractured hip. I've sprained this ankle and this one at different times. I've sprained both my wrists. Injury comes with the territory of action sports. If you're gonna do BMX, parkour, tricking, skydiving, injury comes with that. But the injury doesn't matter because the Saiyan mentality is to come back stronger. Think about Goku. Every time you get injured, it's an excuse and a reason to come back stronger than you were before. So with that said, let's get started. I want to go through every step that I went through to go from tearing my ACL and not being able to walk to re-landing triple cork for the second time. Step 1, diagnosis. You need to know exactly what happened to your body. Use the best resources available to you to get the most accurate diagnosis possible. If you can afford to go see a doctor, go see a doctor. If all you can do is Google it and research all night and perform diagnostic tests on yourself, then you need to do that. Learn as much as you can about what just happened to your body. In my case, I had a serious knee injury, but I didn't know the full extent to how I damaged my knee. Initially, I thought I had just torn my meniscus, but then I went to a doctor and I got an MRI on my knee. And that MRI showed that I had not just torn my meniscus, but I also tore my ACL and I strained my LCL and I ruptured my knee capsule and all the full extent of exactly what happened to my knee. And from that, I could move forward onto the next step. Step 2, research. Learn everything there is to know about your injury. If you sprained your ankle, look it up on Google. Consult your doctor. Go find a physical therapist who deals with ankles. Look it up on YouTube and find what exercises you can do to strengthen your ankle so it doesn't happen again. Get as much knowledge as you can about your injury now that you have your diagnosis. When I tore my knee, I asked everyone I knew about how to recover from this injury. I consulted every physical therapist I knew. I went straight to my doctor. I asked around to the different trickers that I had known that had an ACL tear in the past. It was Jefferson Lewis III, JL, who gave me the most helpful information that I knew. He sat down with me and answered every question that I had about ACL tears, about his recovery, about his graft, his surgery. I just grilled him about ACL tears, and thankfully, he was nice enough to share that with me. There are so many trickers who share your injury. You are never alone. Ask around. Do your research with trickers, but also do your research with doctors and physicians. Step 3, make a plan. Use all the information that you just gathered to sit down and draw yourself out a scheduled recovery. This might include conditioning, this might include stretching, this might include surgery if you need it, if your injury is that severe. But you need to make a plan to getting back to the level of physical fitness and stability that you were before you got hurt, before you ever think about returning to tricks. Right after I hurt my knee, I scheduled out the next 9 months of my life. This included getting surgery, meeting with a physical therapist 3 times a week, learning what conditioning exercises I can do at home to regain the strength that I had lost, and regaining my flexibility by tearing through scar tissue and whatever else was in my way. I sat down and drew out this plan, and what it did was it gave me direction to move forward. Step 4, execute on your plan. This is the hardest step. This is the hardest step for me and every tricker that I talk to. This is the hardest step for them. You need to be patient, not go back to tricks right away. You need to be self-disciplined enough to do your conditioning, do your cardio, and complete your recovery. Following that path, now that you've written it out, is the hardest part, but I know you can do it. Every tricker has the power to return back to where they were. If you can make your plan and then execute on it, you'll be just fine. You'll return to the level of physical fitness that you were before you got hurt. With each barrier that comes as you're recovering, as you're executing that plan, try and turn it into the most positive thing you can. Because if you keep moving, you will recover. Step 5, start over. You have a new body now. Your muscles will have atrophied, your joints won't be as stable, and you won't have as much spatial awareness. Your muscle memory will be gone. So if you try and jump right back into the tricks you were throwing before you got hurt, you might get hurt again. I've done it a number of times, not on my ACL tear, but on minor injuries I've had in my past. I had a sprained ankle at one point for like 4 months. Your favorite tricks before you got hurt might not be your favorite tricks now. For me, I used to love doing splits landings. I think they look gangster, and I can still do them. But I choose not to. I don't want to put that risk on my body, and I want to be tricking when I'm 80. I can still do them. I like doing them for friends because they look cool. But at the end of the day, I much prefer to work my swings now. I much prefer to do hyper hooks and rounds out of my double corks instead of dropping into a split. But trust me, in the end, it is gratifying. It felt really good for me to land triple cork the first time. I was ecstatic, but nothing felt better than conquering that fear and throwing it again for the second time after not being able to walk. The final thing I want to leave you guys with is that you are not alone. Trickers get injured, it happens, but you can come back stronger than you ever were before if you take your time, if you're disciplined, if you're patient. And if you get injured again, that's fine. Start the process over. I sprained my foot like 2 weeks ago. Minor injuries or major injuries, you have to handle them all the same. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your worst injury was and what you did to overcome that. So many trickers have come back from minor and major injuries. It isn't a bad thing to get injured. You just have to move forward and keep going with that Saiyan mentality to come back stronger. And a huge thank you to all the patrons who have been supporting me on the Mastering series. They are amazing. They're the ones who keep me making these videos. And it means the world to me that you guys also want trickers to get better and healthier and get all the information that they need. Because if I had had this video right after I hurt my knee, I probably would have felt a lot better about the next year of my life. Thank you guys so much and have a lovely day.